Bum, 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 bum. All right, I'm going to go over to here. That's those. Now, it sounds pretty epic. Yeah. Microphone off. Huh. Trying to find information on the new Pokemon set, the thing that is called. Black and white new Pokemon card set. Black Bolt. Black bolt white flare. So it looks like that new set is gonna be called Black Bolt White Flare. I ain't got no idea where to get it yet, and I can't see what the cards are looking like, but the box itself looks pretty sick. But I can't find anywhere I can get it. I don't know. Oh, this might be it. Now we're cooking. I think these are the ones here. Let's see what we got. Random cards. Sort. Whoa, there's some dark looking cards here on the Black Bolt white Pokemon card set that I got no idea on how to get yet. Still looking for it. I don't know. But that thing's looking pretty gnarly. Anybody got any ideas where somebody could get a couple packs or something? I'd be up for any direction because I'm just not finding it right now. I am up to 59 followers though, so that's pretty epic. But it's kind of been quite across the board today. Did not go to the protest in our neck of the woods, but from our neighbors that did go, it looks like things went pretty good and smooth. We just need to keep up the pressure, and when the time comes, vote. But this has been wild. I mean, the Israel thing, that's just going to turn into a bigger mess. I have to applaud Ukraine though for holding their own quite well and punching Russia in the teeth. Good job, fellas. That drone idea was flapping spectacular. Like I'm still I'm even looking while I'm on the computer here, trying to find a spot where I can get some of those cards, and no, they're not showing up anywhere. I'm looking. Whoa, there's a Giovanni's alternate training card that thing's pretty wicked. Wow! They have a Mewtwo Rocket, Team Rocket, that's a whole lot different than the Team Rocket that I had back in the day. That thing looks pretty sick. Cool. I don't know where it's at. Okay, we're going to close this one. I still want to get one of those mystery boxes, and when we get to our new address, I am going to get one of those, and I will open it live on air, as we say. So doesn't have a lot of info that's in it. I've got one picture here that shows one of those gold pack things that I always see guys talking about. It's got more than one graded thing on some level, whether it's a GSC PSA like what I do, or the terrifying place to go send your cards to get graded because they grade it so harshly is Beckett. So if you can get a heavy hitter from Beckett, yeehaw, that's going to be some money. I wish there was a little bit more of a description of stuff that was in there, but it's called Bunk's Pokemon Mystery Card Drop Box. Actually, if I look into some comments, I can kind of see if anybody got anything worth a darn. See what people are saying. It's okay. Well, see, GCG is good though. I mean, I'm okay with that. One thing I've kind of discovered on the reviews sometimes with something like this, these guys are expecting a Charizard, and it ain't gonna happen. Not unless you get some divine intervention, it ain't gonna happen. We've got so we do have a 5-star here for this mystery box due to the area. This is an excellent alternative. Okay, so that person must not be in a heavily populated area. Got a bunch of these footballing. That's a good sign. What'd this guy get? Oh man, yeah, people get those slabbed because it might be their favorite card, fellas. So, there was one person in there that had a graded card that they got slabbed, and it was not a high-end card, and they were whining about it. Ooh, what'd this guy get? He's got a picture of. See, no, I like that. He's got looks like a dark. Ooh, he had a Snorlax. That'd have been pretty epic. Oh, and you got an old school Bulbasaur. The one thing that I'm kind of off put on though is sometimes you do get a large amount of Japanese cards, and that's just gonna happen. But that's okay. But yep, I do want to get one of those because that would just be fun. I'm hoping that when we get moved to our new address that I'll get my new computer set up, and then I will have a more stable computer because this laptop is on its last legs. I think I've had it for 7 years. And that's a whole lot longer than you should have a laptop. So I'm going to get a desktop instead. But that way I'll be able to have better videos, have a microphone, and have better quality than what I've got now. But we're holding fair. I'm just pumped that I've got 59 subscribers. But nobody is on yet, but you know what? That's to be expected. I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to probably do this maybe once a week, and that way I'll have a better setup of what I can talk about instead of the daily lives. I'll sprinkle in some shorts throughout the day just to say howdy. But I think my lives, I'm going to cut it to once a week. I just was carpet bombing there for a while to learn for a while and get some stuff figured out. And I need to give that back to my wife. That's her thing that goes in her stuff. That bracelet that she created. But that way I can be a little bit more organized on what I want to talk about. If there's any big heavy hitter stuff or epic cards, like, and if one of those booster boxes goes well and I can pull some scratch off that, spin around and sell that stuff on eBay, and I can buy another booster box and go that way. Let's see what happens. I thought I was seeing things. Don't mind me. It's all good. And then just so that they are aware, the guy that did get me over to 50, I will get that card on his way to you as soon as we move. But then I will send that to you. And thank you for your address and being awesome. My end goal here is to, since I'm live, I want to get my following way up there, and then I can go over to Drip Live, and then I can have auctions live and that kind of thing, and give away free stuff and just kind of go that way. Just because, oh, hey, somebody's on. Honey, is that you? Is that my wifey? We're going to find out here pretty soon. There's nothing in the chat yet. That is my wife. Oh, wait. Nope. She says she's not my wifey. But it is my wifey. But her response in the chat when I asked her if it was her or not, she says, nope. So, oh, now she's raspberrying me at a distance. There. Oh, and I'm not having any caffeinated beverages hardcore for a week. I had an interesting dumb moment that I've had before, but I got stupid lucky this time. So I ain't going to do that again. Kidney stones suck. I had the start of one today, and then I drowned my kidneys in water, and now I'm okay. But I was drinking too much coffee stuff. There's nothing wrong with the energy drinks. It was all the coffee. I didn't even get it. I was trying to be a wise ass, and I didn't even get a reaction on my wife. Oh, darn. That'd have been funny. Oh! That's not near as exciting. Yeah, I can't find a card list on that new black and white set thing. I'm interested in finding a card list because all I want is a single pack just to see what, see what's in there, see what's up. But I am going to get one of those booster boxes, and hopefully, I'm supposed to also get a phone call on Monday for scheduling a job interview at a place, so we'll see how that goes. This job hunting stuff's for the birds, though. Shouldn't be that hard for people that want to work to find jobs, but all these, I don't know. It's a mess. I know I'm soapboxing, but it's just, shouldn't be this hard for a guy. For people that want to work to get jobs, that's a simple answer. It's like the amount of times that I've run into in an office job, must be able to move a 30-pound box of paper across the office. Well, I can move it. I just don't have to pick it up. I got to slide it across the floor with my walker. What's wrong with that? Or actually, here's one for you. Here's one that actually I ran into. It'd be last week now. I had a hybrid customer service job that every once in a while was going to put me on the road around here at where I'm living. It wasn't like I was going to have to go hundreds of miles in any direction kind of thing. It was going to be around where I'm at. Well, I don't drive. You know how we get around Lincoln? And it's actually convenient, and you don't have to deal with car maintenance. It can be a little spiky at times, but we use Uber and Lyft. Well, the employer liked my resume, and then when they started asking me questions and I told them how I got around, they didn't like that, even though it is a viable form of transportation. So you employers out there that are throwing things down that are, and then you say that nobody wants to work, you don't get to throw roadblocks like that and say nobody wants to work. That's not how this is going to go. I thought I just said Nebraska. Whoops. I'll get it in my head sooner or later. That's just maddening. Anywho, anybody got any links to that new card set? That'd be great, because all I want's a booster pack. I just want to see what it looks like. Maybe I'll get stupid lucky on a booster pack. We'll have to see. What else was? Hold on. I made a note on my phone. Oh, so just some general stuff about me, and so I am going to talk about my work history a little bit. So, especially since they threw out my thing, I used to work for Capital One, and one of the rules that they had, or statistics things, is they didn't want you to take any more than 15 seconds between calls. Didn't matter if you just got your rear end lit up by a flamethrower or not. Doesn't matter. 15 seconds between calls, no matter what. And then they had some other stuff that just made you smile and shake your head. Didn't matter if you just got your head tore off. No matter what, they wanted you to end every call with, "Thank you for calling Club Servicing," even if it made you look like a moron. And I got made look like a moron a lot of that job, because I feel like they didn't give us the tools to be as good at our job as we could be. And surviving as a customer service agent for a credit card, that is a thing. I don't care what anybody says. That is a thing, because you're going to get lit up every day. Every day. That's why it's one of the things that my fiance wife is so awesome, that when my shift was over, she always had a crown and water waiting for me. It's great. And it's just like, and people that say customer service jobs aren't that hard, you know what? Most of you guys that are saying that are the guys that are calling in and yelling at me because you don't know how to make a payment. That's what a lot of my job was, is people yelling at me because they weren't responsible enough to make a payment. Or you had some gooberhead, which was a lot, that didn't understand the concept of interest. Let's think about that for a second. Or the number 3 gooberhead. There's a lot of them, but this is just a short list right now. Since I'm kind of on a rant here, it might go a little longer. But the other guy was that, "You mean to tell me I got to pay this back?" That happens sometimes too. Sometimes when you had those pop up, specifically the two of what is interest and they sound it out because they don't know what that word is. Or you mean to tell me I got to pay this back? That's those two situations in that job where you had to say internally in your head before you spoke again, be careful what you say so you don't get fired. Pause for dramatic effect. Sorry, I had to. I haven't started doing I wonder if you can do creative editing, crazy background stuff live. I'm gonna have to try that and tinker, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. The other thing, well, one thing that would be a heck of a surprise. Oh, thank you, honey. Yeah, my wife's great. I look stuff up, but it just doesn't give me that much to go on. But one person that if they ever got on my live, and I would lose it. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm just gonna say the situation. If the Elton John lady ever gets on my YouTube channel, I will go into shock because that'd be pretty gnarly. That was one of the best things I got to do at my time with Capital One. Got into an argument with Ticketmaster that took a total of 3 hours and some odd minutes. And then Capital One let me do and assisted me in doing a really nice thing to where I was able to get better Elton John tickets for a Capital One customer. And I was the best up to that point. I don't know if anybody's beat me yet since it's been so long, but I doubt it because that was pretty badass. That was the best surprise and delight that had happened at Capital One at that point. In fact, I think ever since COVID happened, I don't think they have the surprise and delight anymore ever since I got fired. From what I remember now thinking about it, from keeping in contact with one of the guys I used to work with. I'm going to tinker or something while we're on the fly here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens. Okay. I'm not going to blow anything up. Not going to blow anything up. Ooh, what's this? Oh, there's an engage with your audience button. What's that going to do? What's that do? Oh! Dude! That's how you do a poll. Oh. Cool. See, like I told you guys, my wife's awesome. Oh, that's great. She's great. Let's see what. Okay, so we can do a Q&A. Enter. Oh, yeah, so we got a poll. Then we got Q&A. Okay, so you have to. I'll tinker with that later. See if I can do a background thingy. Participants. Oh, and there's how I get a moderator. My moderator. Wow. Russell can't speak today. It's okay though. Timestamps. Interesting if true. Close that. Huh. Cool. But let's see. What was it? Oh, but there was one time that I threatened to get. I don't want to use a flag word. There's a time I threatened to get boomed talking to a Capital One customer because they were mad that I was not able to waive $2.32 in interest. That was fun. Yeah, but part of the reason I'm doing this channel now, well, is I was working on a book, but it's actually going to be funner to just talk about the crazies I had to work with, or crazies I had to work for, or customers I had to help. Words are hard. It's okay. Let's see. What was another one? Um, I gave one customer a recipe for a special adult drink at the beginning of COVID because they wanted to be able to hide a drink in their water bottle and people not know what was in the water bottle. That was pretty funny. That customer was dealing with triplet boys that were the age of 5, and she was a little bit frazzled. It was pretty funny. I know I should write, but this is just easier at this point. Plus, I'm remembering more stuff just rattling about it now. But my wife is right. I need to write a book. I'm actually working on it, but I think I'm like 11 pages in now. Oh, there was a heart that just went airborne. I don't. Oh, that was the thing. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna tinker with something else here. I just to say this comment out loud, fellas. I totally almost misread that quote or the text there because I thought it said you should wife. I'm like, you are my wife. I'm just my brain shorted out for a second. That was whoops, but that was pretty funny. Oh, that okay, that won't work. I'm gonna experiment with something else. Oh, wait, is this what the okay? Oh, what did this do? Overlay to my live encoder. I don't know how that works, but that's I just figured. I think I just figured out how to do a background. Maybe. What this one do? Oh, I don't know what that one does. Oh, dude, I just found a thing that tells me what my connection's like before things go bad. Ah, that's cool. Red, you're not here today, so I'm just I'm gonna mention you by name. That's the guy getting the free stuff. So when you do watch this video later, which I imagine you will, I mentioned you by name in minute 33. Ha! But thank you for your support. Streamlab. I wonder if I can get to Streamlab from here without killing my chat. Killing my stream. Huh? I'll have to look. What was the other thing I wanted to look at? Let's see. What was another funny customer service thing? Oh, the one that wasn't so funny is I just got done verifying a guy one time, and then there were 3 bangs, and the line went dead. And being as I'm a small town Midwestern kid, I knew what those bangs sounded like, and I told what I would call my adult what I thought happened. My adult thought that I was overreacting. Well, then their adult listened to the call, and their adult didn't like what they heard either. So they contacted some people to go check on said customer. I never heard one way or the other but that was fun when you hear boomsticks. I have to make sure I don't say a trigger word midway through the call. That was fun. Or the one guy that said that he was going to have to call me back because he just made a really big mistake. What was that mistake, sir? I mean, you got customer service on the phone here for your credit card. No, this mistake doesn't involve my credit card. What do we got going on, sir? I just accidentally got between a mother grizzly bear and her cubs. I will call you back. Have a good day. Click. Oh, yeah, that's not. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, and then even on a different job, in my most recent work history, had a guy call in for this was customer service for an insurance stuff a few months back. Guy sounded like he sounded icky. He sounded like ship. He sounded like a sinking ship. There, yeah. And I was like, "Sir, what do you got going on?" I'm not feeling very good, but I want to. I need to check and make sure my insurance is good. Well, your insurance is fine. Your current. What do you got going on? Well, my wife's hitting the van. We're getting ready to go to the hospital. That's why I wanted to check on my insurance. You going to the doctor? No, we're going to the hospital. I think I'm having a heart attack. Sir, get off the phone with me and get going. Call us later. No, I just wanted to make sure I'm covered before. Sir, you're fine. Get off the phone. If you disconnect with me while we're talking, just so you're aware, I have your address and I will send an ambulance your direction. No, you don't need. My wife's getting the van. I'll probably be back anyway. It's not going to be long. Okay. Well, we didn't have a very small staff where I was working, or very big staff where I was working at the time. I get that guy a couple hours later. He sounds a heck of a lot better, but he's madder than all get out. The reason why he's mad is he was having a heart problem, and now they're keeping him for a few days till they can get him squared up. So that was. This guy called to check on his insurance because he thought he was having a heart attack before he went to the hospital. Come on, man. This is why you able-bodied folks make my head hurt sometimes. You just think sometimes. Just a little bit. You don't have to think the whole time because sometimes things get pretty random, but just think a little bit. But he ended up being all right. What was another one? There was more than one time that my wife walked around the corner when because we used the second bedroom of our 2-bedroom apartment as an office for both of our computers, and I see her out of the corner of my eye just as she's walking into the door. What did he say? She didn't say that out loud, but or she wrote something on a sticky note of what. I'm just, it's just one of those you make your head hurt. There was a guy one time that he was getting ready to buy a one of those ATV Ranger things, not the actual 4-wheeler, the thing with the dump bucket and all that stuff, and the seat belts and that. He wanted to get one for his wife because he got sick of her stealing his and taking it around the farm. That was pretty funny. Or the other thing, when I used to be a night shifter at Cabela's Visa, there was one guy that called about midway through my shift. So the Cabela's stores were still open. All he wanted to know was the amount of club points that he had. Now, the club points system that we had back in the day, when I worked there the first time, compared to what Capital One did to it, the first version is a heck of a lot better than the second version. So your points didn't expire, and you could rat hole. I mean, there was no cap. I mean, you could rat hole. Now, getting to the point of the story, there was a guy. He's like, "Hey, my name's. I want to verify, but I've only got one question for you." I was like, "All right, how many club points do I have?" I looked, pulled everything up. Once he verified, guy had $10,000, which meant he could buy $10,000 of Cabela's stuff with his club points. And I told him. He was like, "Great. Now I can buy anything with that, right?" I said, "Yep." He said, "Anything, right?" I said, "Yep. But if you do buy a gun," I said, "you still got the standard. You got to waiting the background check and all that hula hoop and rap music." And I actually said that specifically. And he said, "No, I'm not buying a gun, but I can still buy anything." I said, "Yes, you can buy anything, and there's no dollar." I said, buy anything, and there's no dollar cap." Good. I'm getting ready to go buy a boat. And I was like, "That's pretty epic." He's like, "Yep, I retired today. I turned in my keys, and I'm getting ready to go buy a boat." And you know what the funny thing is? I was like, "What's that, sir?" He's like, "I didn't tell my wife." He was like, "She knows about the points, but I've used my card for everything, and I've just been rat holing the points." And he said, "I'm going to go buy a boat with my points, and I didn't tell my wife, and she'll find out when I get home." Only thing I said there was, "Well, good luck with that, sir." And I mean, more power to the guy, because he had his Cabela's card since day one of having a Cabela's card, and that guy had the patience, presence of mind, and whatever other fortitude type word you want to use to not spend a dime of his points and just rat hole. Yeah, I was just like, wow, this guy's he gonna buy a boat. That's cool. Let's see. Who else we got on here? Red, is that you? That might be Red. I don't know. We'll see. Red, maybe. I don't remember how to see who else is here. Thank you. Where'd it go? Two. Okay. Hold on. I'm looking. Where's the other person? Somebody else was here. Where'd they go? Hey guys. Goonies never say die. I'm trying to get that other person to either laugh or send an emoji or something. Okay. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Nope, didn't work either. Let's see. What other customer service thingy I've got? Oh, when we got sent home from the call center when COVID got going, that was kind of funny because I went to go log in that morning because I was just getting back from my birthday vacation, which involved me playing video games and drinking adult beverages for a week solid, and every once in a while going to a movie, so I was just on a buzz for a week, which was kind of wicked, but totally unhealthy, and not going to do that again. I came into work that day, went to go log in. Supervisor comes up behind me and says, "Russell, get away from your computer." "Well, I can get to work in like 15 minutes. I got to get situated. Leave me alone." I'm plugging back at it. Another supervisor walks behind me. "Russell, get away from your computer." "Nope, still getting situated. Leave me alone. I got to work in not very long." Third supervisor comes up behind me. This supervisor I was actually friends with grabs my chair, pulls me away from my desk, and goes, "Russell, get away from your computer." I'm like, "Man, if I got fired over my birthday vacation, I ain't going to be happy." And then his response was, "Do you not watch the news?" I was like, "No, I've been getting drunk and playing video games for a week. What do you want from me?" And he was like, "I'm not surprised. Well, here's what's going on. Do you at least know about COVID?" I was like, "Yeah." here's what's going on. Take your computer, go away. Great. Now, the one interesting thing that came up with working from home, even on day one, is I had a folding chair that I was sitting at in front of my computer, and it was not the best chair to be sitting in when you're going to be at a computer long term. So my first shift that I had at my apartment was not the greatest. And so then I ended up getting a nice, this chair right here, lazy boy chair, office chair for my birthday for to help me out with COVID. And so then I had a better chair to sit in. But because my muscles were so that next day, after day one of work from home, I had to use a PTO day that next day, which was a bummer, but it is what it is. Then the other thing that they had that started after COVID is they had this flex on and flex off stuff. So as long as you covered 40 hours, it didn't matter. You could run 3 12-hour shifts, which I wanted to do that a lot more than I did. And then you'd have to work 4 hours. So then you had the rest weekend. But then they started capping that because they said that was unfair, and then they got rid of the flex thing altogether. Now, as a work from home thing, sometimes stuff happens that, let's say they don't shut down the office for noise, or you don't get in trouble for noise in the office, or a plumbing issue, or what have you. Sometimes if something went wrong at the office, they just send you home. Couldn't do that here, obviously, because you didn't have an excuse anymore, which didn't, which was a kind of a bummer. But when they got rid of the flex, it was just kind of like, okay, this job's not, because being a customer service agent for a credit card company, that's hard. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, it's a sit down job, but it is mentally and emotionally draining sometimes. And it was just like, ugh. So I'd run Mach 1 with my hair on fire for 3 days straight, 4-day work half day. So then you'd have a 2.5 day weekend. Or no, 3.5 day weekend. I forgot how to count. Sorry, fellas. I was like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you'd end up with a 3.5 day weekend, which was a perfect mental recharge when you started to dealing with goobers out there that, I'm out of work, I can't pay my bill, help. Okay, well, here's what's going to happen. I mean, that's what the majority of my calls were, oh my God, help me, I can't pay my bill. Even though they did have a job, there were some customers out there that were just gaming the system. I still can't figure out who the second one is on my stream here. Can I get you to holler? Whoever you may be. Red, is that you? Oh, wait. Ah, there he is. You were sitting there for a while. I thought you were trying to be sneaky. That's pretty funny. Work from home. So yeah, people just couldn't handle their, and the other sick and twisted amusement that I've got out of that customer service job when I was working for Capital One, sometimes you'd have able-bodied folks that would call in and say, I'm disabled, I can't work anymore. Now, if I was feeling spry that day, I'd be like, I understand where you're coming from. I got Walker. I have a cerebral palsy. Now, 95% of the time, that would make them panic, and they'd go, I just want to pay my bill. You have a good day. Goodbye. Click. Now, there's one time that I, for lack of a better term, I lost trumps. I lost in trumps. Same thing. Guy calls in. I'm disabled. I can't pay my bill. I need some help. Okay. What do we got going on? And he gives me his rundown. So then I decided, yeah, I'm going to go down that same rabbit hole. I got a walker. I know where you're coming from. He's like, I stepped on a landmine and lost both my legs. And I just went, you win. I lose. Yeah. And he was like, I know what you were trying to do, and I applaud that. And he said, how many times have you lost? And I said, that's the only time so far. And to this day, that was the only time that I lost, was that guy going, I stepped on a landmine and lost both my legs. And it was in Iraq also. And I was like, oh, yep. What was another one? Oh, and then back to the triplets that I had, where I taught the mom how to make the adult beverage that she could hide in a water bottle. She had one of her youngsters get on the phone after I got done helping her. I'm supposed to tell you thank you for helping my mom. I was just like, well, you're welcome. Oh, then I had the munchkin one time that there was I was talking to an adult on the phone, and then all of a sudden it changed to a little voice, and I had a decision to make once I figured out what that little voice was trying to do. Little voice gets on the phone. Grandpa, we have a problem. We do? What's that? And I figured out pretty quick, thank goodness, what was going on. So I played along. Mom won't let me have ice cream for supper. Now, I had a choice to make right there. Do I throw Mom under the bus, or do I help Mom out? Well, I decided to help Mom. It's like, ice cream for supper? I said, I'm old. How old are you again? I'm 4. And I was like, huh. Well, you can't have ice cream for supper. Why not? I said, you'll get a tummy ache. That won't be good. So Mom's not lying? No, Mom's not lying. Well, what about ice cream after supper? And I said, clean your plate and talk to your mom. Okay, I love you. Talk to you later. And she gives the phone back to the mom, and I'm going to go play. And that was one I wasn't prepared for. That was actually pretty cool. And the mom actually thanked me for not throwing her under the bus, even though I very easily could have, which would have been funny as all get out. Let's see. What was another? Oh, and then when I used to be a night shifter at Cabela's Visa back in the day, there was a time when the weather was getting sketchy, and there was a customer I had on the phone that Red, you're awesome. You need once we get more and more people on here, this is going to be more and more epic, especially once I get more stuff and I can start giving stuff away. Anyway, I had a customer on the phone that he was like, you're where you're at, right? And he repeated the location when I went, which I've said here a couple times, and he was like, you're not going to be on the phone much longer. I was like, well, I still got to work, sir. I said, I'm going to help you out. He's like, no, tornado sirens are going off in your neck of the woods. And I'm like, they still got us on the phone. They ain't shut anything off yet. Not 15 seconds later, there's a supervisor that crosses my line of sight and gets me to look up and goes, get off of your computer and get downstairs and take cover. My wife is an excellent cheerleader. And then when I get told that, I tell the customer what I've got going on, and he starts just laughing hysterically and tells me to stay safe and hangs up, and away we went. But that was pretty funny. And there was somebody that I used to work with that she's actually passed away now. We used to, I don't remember what we used to call her nickname was. we had a work group of we called ourselves the Congers, Kongers. Now, the reason why that group got started is we went out as a crew one time, four of us plus one of my buddies from college, and we just got very happy. That we were very, very happy drinking adult beverages. Well, one of the people I was drinking with got the hiccups, and we fooled her to in. Well, make yourself sound like a gorilla and move your arms like a gorilla, and your hiccups will go away. And we got her to do it. And so then from there on out, our group was called the Congers. And yeah, but that was back in the day at Cabela's Visa, Capital One, that whole yeehaw. No, yeah, what are we at here? Holy cow. Hey, I know how to ramble. Hey, Red, have you had access to the new set of Pokemon cards that have dropped yet? That the black and white thing? Have you seen those yet? I'm trying to find a card list on them just to see what they got. And I don't see anything yet. Have you seen them all? Seen them at all yet or not? I think I have a delay on my chat stuff, so we'll give them a minute here. Oh, I haven't heard of the. Oh, let's see. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on. Black and white Pokemon card set. It's off of the Scarlet and Violet set, but it's a black and white thing. Whoa! No, I want English cards. I don't want Japanese. That's not gonna work. Maybe this is it. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Pokemon card game Scarlet and Violet. Black Bolt booster. I'm hoping to try to pick off some of that once in a while just to see if I can get stupid lucky, but I want to find a card list first to see what the heavy hitter is or heavy hitters are, and then we can go from there. But I want to do that that mystery box from that place that I've talked about in previous videos beforehand. Yeah, that's the one. I haven't found any stuff yet, and trying to get cards in our neck of the woods, just no. So I'm going to do order online, safer that way. Less chance of getting knocked over. Have you opened any good packs recently? Had any good hits? We're on a delay here because Red is a ways away from where I'm at, so it takes a while for the stuff to travel, I think. I'm just checking to see if he's had any good pack openings where things went rock-starringly awesome. Yep. Nice. Sweet. Well, you do. If we could figure out how to do it, we could have a pack battle live. I could go get a couple. See if I gotta go whack anybody over the head to get some black and white. Because these days you got to be prepared to whack some kneecaps. Or in my case, I play possum, because if anybody knocks me over, I just scream, "I can't feel my legs!" and scare everybody off. Evil but funny and effective. Because people tend to pause when you yell something like that and you've got an assistive device. Anywho's it's I'm sitting a little over in an hour, and that's usually where I'm gonna usually cut off and whatnot. But thank you for everybody that's got me to 50. And like I said, Red, your stuff is coming after we move. Right now it's packed up. But I have your address in my email. So as soon as we get settled, I will get that card on its way to you. And you will so you will be able to increase your collection of awesomeness. But you have a good night and a safe rest of your week. Good night, everybody. Okay, off in stream.